Demi Porteur racks are the new rando racks, and if you understood anything about that sentence, you have found the right channel. Speaking of Demi Porteur racks, today I'm going to be reviewing this bag by ILE, Inside Line Equipment, and it's a bag made specifically for this hot new trend in rack packing. Find out what I like and dislike about it in this video. Welcome back, Pathless Peddlers, and if you're new to the channel, you have found the home of non-competitive cycling here on YouTube. So if you like to ride party pace and live the supple life, hit that subscribe button. So to back up just a bit, if you're not familiar with what a Demi Porteur rack is, it is basically a smaller version of a Porteur rack. Demi meaning smaller or diminutive. And if you don't know what a Porteur rack is, it's basically a platform rack, usually a rectangular shape. It's got a backstop and also rails to support a load. They're great racks, but they tend to be too much rack for most people most of the time. So I'm a big fan of the Demi Porteur. If you're wondering who makes them, one of our favorites is the Flat Pack Rack by Velo Orange. Patreon supporters get a 20% discount, heads up. And brands like Crust Bikes as well as Rollin also make their own version of the Demi Porteur. So let's talk about the bag. If you're not familiar with ILE or Inside Line Equipment, they are made in the US in Berkeley, California. This is a smaller version of a bag that they already have in their lineup. It's a little bit more stripped down, fewer pockets, obviously smaller in size, but still loaded with lots of interesting functionality. One of them is tucked away, and I didn't even know until I emailed them to figure out how it worked. The bag comes in different materials. This one in particular is a wax canvas. It's probably the heaviest of the materials they offer, coming in at about 980 grams, but you can get it in lighter materials like X-Pack, which weighs in at 700 grams. So if you're a weight weenie, there are some kind of options for you. In terms of attaching it to your bike, it's really simple. There are two webbing straps here on the bottom, and it works just like you would think. You buckle it up and you cinch it down. In terms of pockets, there are very few of them. There is this quick access zippered pocket here on the top. A good place to put snacks or your phone, or the included shoulder strap. That's what these buckles here are on the side. You can snap it off your bike, put the shoulder strap on, run the errand, do some groceries, all those things. In terms of opening and closing the bag, it's pretty simple. This pocket flips open via the magic of Velcro, and then you unroll the top. There are a pair of snaps that gather the material, so it makes it a little bit more water resistant. One thing I do love about this bag is that it's got these built-in shorty handles. So this makes it like the ideal grocery getter, beer run bag. You can snap it off your bike and you've already got a handle that you don't have to click on. It's just there, ready for you to use. On the inside, it's got a waterproof lining. It does have seams. Like this is, highly water resistant. I wouldn't throw it in the river and expect things to stay dry. But I think in, normal storms, you should be okay. There's no real organization in here, so you gotta kind of place things or just stuff them. And the total capacity is a stated 6 liters. The bottom of the bag is semi-rigid. This area here measures in at 9 by 12 inches. You do definitely want to use a Demi Porteur rack or a platform style rack with this. Although there is a stiffener here, I think if you put it on a narrow rando rack, the sides are just going to spill over. You'll notice on the bottom of the rack there are 2 sets of buckles, and this really kind of confounded me when I first used it. Like why 2 sets of buckles here? This second set is used for an interesting trick. There are actually straps here that you can deploy. They're hidden beneath the zippered pouch here. So there's a zipper up here, and over here there's a Velcro sleeve here, and you can deploy another pair of straps. So what that allows you to do is if your bag is overstuffed or you have to tie something that is larger than the dimensions of the bag, you can do that with these additional webbing straps. Pretty handy if you go to the post office and there's this surprise box you have to take home. In terms of stability, I took it on a gravel ride and put tools, a pump, some layers, went up some gravel and down some gravel, and the bag worked great. It didn't slide off, although it does have very kind of minimal attachment point to the rack. So pretty stoked on it. I think it is a great option, obviously, if you have a Demi Porteur bag, but it'd be perfect for grocery runs, for commuting to school, commuting to work, if people still do that. But also great for bike packing trips, or rack packing trips rather, in a couple months. So in terms of likes and dislikes, I like the capacity. It's a great everyday capacity. Not the biggest bag, but definitely one that will fit most things for day rides or just commuting. I like the construction. It's nicely put together. This wax canvas material, although a little bit on the heavy side, is very luxurious and it's just gonna age well. Hidden deploying straps are a nice touch. Definitely extends the capacity of the bag. And it's just a smart looking bag. It looks classic, yet somehow modern and very versatile. In terms of dislikes or things that I wish they could improve, probably for me, the biggest thing is I wish there was a vertical piece of webbing here so you could run a tow strap through that or some cordage and connect it to the backstop of a rack. I think this would give it a little bit more structure, make it even more solid on the rack, and would solve any other remaining existential doubt that this bag isn't secure with just these two straps. Another downside is that when it's empty, it does look a little bit structureless. So if you like the boxy rando bag look, this might take some getting used to. It's a great option if you already own a Porteur rack and don't want to put a basket on it just so you can run a bag. This saves you a little bit of weight, a little bit of hardware, because you can mount this bag directly to the rack. So another great option from a US made brand. Another big plus is that if you are a Patreon supporter at that Team Supple level, there is a discount code on their entire store for 15% off. They've been really gracious to offer that to community supporters because they are also about the supple life. So what do you guys think of this bag? Let me know in the comments below. Have you guys used other ILE equipment? They're kind of a newish brand to me. I've been aware of their existence, but this is the first bag I've touched and fondled and used of theirs, and pretty impressed so far. If you have any other questions, leave those in the comments below. And as always, keep the supple side down.